Hey, welcome along to my Organise Your Family Menu Like a Boss. Really short, sharp, quick and simple workshop tonight. I am so pleased to have you here with me. And if you are watching this on the replay, thank you very much for watching. As we go through tonight, please feel free to type in any questions that you may have, and I'll do my very best to answer them as we come up. But this is an interactive workshop tonight, so you will be doing some work while you're here with me tonight. So you do need to make sure that you've got pen and paper handy. I've got my notes happening down here. Sorry, got my arrows the wrong way. So if I do look down, it's only because I'm referring to my notes. Second ever live, so you will have to excuse my nerves again as we go through. But like I said, thank you very much for joining me at my Organise Your Family Menu Like a Boss workshop. So we've been through that, you've got your pen and paper ready, and we've been through, I'll answer the questions as we go through. Really handy is that you are going to need some recipes with you tonight. As you jump on, if you'd like to give me a like or a little comment or whatever you feel best is going to help you interact with everything as we go through. So just to reiterate that you need those notes that were emailed through, if you've got those handy, the templates. If you don't have the templates handy, that's fine. A pen and paper and your recipes will get you along the way as we organise your family menu like a boss. I am going to do my best to answer questions as we go through. And I've also mentioned throughout all of this that we're just doing a 1 week plan tonight. In order to go through and do the full 3-month plan, I do have that available for you online. And in step 3 tonight, I'll take you through what that discount code that expires on Friday is for you. My notes are down beside me, which is what I'm going to keep looking down at just to make sure that I do cover everything off for you. But hopefully you've got those pen and papers handy. So as we get started, I'm actually going to take you through my examples. I certainly hope that the image comes through well enough on the camera for you. But these, in the last live, I spoke about the magazines that I had a subscription to for 1 year in the first year that Jessica was born, or for her first year, sorry. And so where are we? There we go. They're the magazines. Now, that's all available online at taste.com. I'm not sure if this magazine is produced anymore. Like I said, I just had the 1 year subscription. But if you go to taste.com, you can actually find any of those recipes. And I shared those with you guys actually for the last 4 or so days on my Facebook page as well. So every recipe that I use does come from them. They're all seasonal, which is what I really like. So the February magazine, everything's seasonal to February, which is really quite nice. This is our family menu. So there we go. I think you guys can see that. So we had these ones tonight, just with some meatballs and some rice and whatnot. They're actually really tasty. So that's that way. That's what my menu ends up looking like. This is clipped to the fridge, bit of blue tack on the back there. And that's what the menu ends up looking like for our 4 weeks. Now that's week 1. So when I was writing those out and put that video together a couple of weeks ago now, that's where I was highlighting, and that's something we're going to go through together tonight. You'll understand why I have those highlighted. 4th week there. You'll see my week starts on a Tuesday, and we're going to go through why I do that as well. Over here are the shopping lists. So you can see that everything's divided into the fruit and veggie section, deli section, butcher, bakery, well, nothing on that week for the bakery, dairy case, shelf items, and down the bottom there is the freezer section. Now these just literally live in my cupboard. You can see that, you know, they get used, they get folded, they get put in my handbag. But as we go through, they're our weekly menus for those ones. So let's get you started. Just going to check those notes again for you though. Okay, so by the end of this video, by 7:30 tonight, I want you to have a 1-week menu planned, really not time constrained, but really respecting that time that you have available to cooking and preparing food in the week ahead. But you'll also have your whole shopping list done as well, so you can, you know, pull that week menu out every so often and reuse that one because it's all there and ready for you to go. So step one, on a piece of paper, or if you've got those templates, I want you to look at the typical week template. Now, if you don't have the templates, that's fine. I just want you writing down Monday through to Sunday down one side of the page. And then next to your Monday through to Sunday, I just want you to write down what are your typical activities in your week. So thinking about your work hours, thinking about your partner's work hours, if you've got, you know, another adult in the house with you, thinking about their work hours, thinking about the kids' sport commitments or kids' extracurricular commitments, thinking about your extracurricular commitments. So when do you go to the gym? When are you out and about? But also too, thinking about when you've got time to batch cook. So I did cover off in the last video on my typical week, but as you're writing this down, and you should be writing down right now, I'm going to continue talking. You need to listen and be writing at the same time. But for example, on Monday nights, one of the kids has swimming. So we're out sort of straight after school, off to the swimming pool for that one, and then home in time. I've sort of got about half an hour to get dinner on the table on Monday nights. That half an hour, the swimmer is in the shower, having her shower, the older one's helping me or doing whatever. Tuesday nights, the older one has cubs, so she's there, she leaves about 6:45. So we need to make sure dinner's done and dusted by about sort of 6:15 on those nights, give them time to eat and get ready. So I need to take that into account. Wednesday nights are about to get super crazy busy for us. It's already started, they're off there now. Athletics, it's either going to be athletics training or actual athletics competition. So I need to actually have a portable dinner with us for those nights. So we're both, Lee and I are both on the parents committee for that one. So we need to be sort of giving our kids their dinner there because we're generally down there by about 5 o'clock. Thursday nights I work, so dinner needs to be done by about 6 o'clock to give me time to get ready for that. Friday nights, it can be anywhere. It can be a bit all over the shop depending on, you know, what's going on. That's a hard one to guess, and I just take that week in about. But because I eat fish on Fridays, that's generally pretty quick and simple to cook. Now, Saturday and Sunday are my little secrets. Saturday, we keep it completely free. Menu-wise, we keep it completely free. We don't know where we're going to be from one week to the next, so we could be out at a barbecue or we could have people here. If the case is that we're at home and I need to get dinner on the table, we all make a family decision during the day on Saturday because we're generally pretty free, or we've generally got that 10 minutes to go in and out of the supermarket. Rule is it has to be a nutritious meal, and the kids know that rule because on Sundays, if you've never heard me talk about my Organise Your Family menu like a boss before, you won't have heard this one, but the girls take it in turns. One picks one Sunday, one picks the next. It's to give them a little bit of autonomy over our menu. It's to give us a little bit of bargaining power, because if they've got the say on Sunday, we can sort of say to them during the week, well, come on, try this vegetable because you've got your pick on Sunday. And also too, I don't want them getting to be the age where they're moving out of home, hopefully 18, and going crazy on all the fun food because it was restricted to them during their childhood. I want them to understand that you can eat pizza occasionally, that you can have noodle box occasionally, that you can have fish and chips occasionally, because one meal during the week, if that's a takeaway once a week, that's actually okay. It's just like the flip of that one salad in a week is certainly not going to make your week a healthy week. Okay, I think I've talked enough. I can see there aren't any questions yet, and that's cool. I'm going to do my best to address those questions as they come through. But by now, you should have your Monday through to Sunday. You should have your activities that you know you've got coming up. So whether you're planning for the very next week ahead, or whether you're just doing a general week with me, whatever way you're doing that tonight is fine. And you should have a bit of an idea of the time that's available to you to cook. Now, the other thing I wanted to mention too is batch cooking can save your life. So if you've got time on a weekend to do some batch cooking, that's great. If you can do it one night per week, that's great. You know, there was a point where I had a lot less time to cook, and so I was batch cooking bolognese sauce, veggie packed bolognese sauce, once a week, or not even once a week, once a month. I was doing enough for 4 nights in the month. Lifesaver. If you're going to cook bolognese once, you may as well cook it for 4 weeks. Yeah, so absolute lifesaver. So there we go. There's step 1, is thinking about really nutting out that time that you've got available for you to cook and what time to prepare, all of that kind of stuff. The other thing I want you to add onto that list, now if you're using my template, you're probably wondering what that groceries column is for. And if you're not using a template, that's cool. Just note this down. I want you to note down what day you do groceries on. Now that's really important because I want you starting your week on that grocery day so that every week, everything in your fridge, everything in your cupboard, it's all fresh and ready to go. And the way this planning works is that everything you buy for the week is accounted for. So you really shouldn't be having too much left over in your fridge at the end of the week, bar like, you know, a bag of carrots or something that, you know, we end up getting, or the lettuce that didn't quite get finished. But it's to make sure that everything is accountable. Just checking, no questions, that's cool. So we've got our typical week, we've got our work and life commitments, and we've got our time available to cook, and we've also got our groceries. So now we're on to step 2. Now, part of what really works here for me is having a set structure of meal types for the week. So I want you now thinking about what kind of meal types is it that you're going to eat on which night. Now, I'll take you through my example, and then that might start getting you going. We eat meat, so please take that into consideration. If you don't eat meat, that's cool. You're just going to make sure that you've got set different types of meal types. How many times can I say types? You've got those different types. There I go again. So nerves are getting the better of me. I'm just going to go through our typical week to give you an idea. Monday is meat-free. Tuesday is lamb. Wednesday is a white meat. Now that's either chicken or pork. Thursday is beef. Friday is fish. So I know when I'm going through my recipes that they're the kinds of recipes that I'm looking for. As I mentioned, the Saturday and the Sunday are a little freer for choice. So now, on your list, you should have a bit of an idea of what it is, which typical meals are you going to be having on those nights. I promise it sounds anal, but this structure really helps, because remember, the focus of what we're doing here is to put structure into your week. It's to help you either save time from going to the supermarket every night. I don't know how people do that, but apparently some people do. It's to give a little bit more organization into your week, and it's to give you time to realize that you have got time to cook and that you don't have to be relying on those takeaways every single week. And it's to give you a bit of autonomy back to your own menu, so you're not relying on those expensive meal services. So we've done 2 steps. Step 1, we've thought about what a typical week looks like and our time availability and our groceries. Step 2 should be done. I hope it's done, because that should be all about what are the typical meals you're going to have on those nights. So now we're at step 3, and step 3 is all about finding those recipes. So hopefully you've got those recipe books in front of you, and if you don't, go and get them or open another tab, and hopefully you can still hear me talking. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some good nutrition tips as you're going through your recipes, because I want you now finding those 7 recipes as we're talking. If you don't get those 7 recipes done now, that's fine. Like I said, step 3 was also where I was going to announce the 30% discount code that you can use in my Podia store to give you that really great 30% discount on the full Organise Your Menu Like a Boss video course. So it's 4 videos and 2 downloadable books for you, 2 downloadable workbooks for you. The code is TPPT30. So TPPT30, and that will give you that 30% off. Now, guys, that goes on Friday, and I actually don't know how to turn that discount code on to make it last longer. I've set it to finish on Friday, so Friday it finishes. So it'll be Friday afternoon. Just make sure you do jump on board with that one. Remember, right now we are looking for those menu items, so we should be trying to find, as I'm talking to you, you should be trying to find 7 different menu items. Now, as a personal trainer and as an Australian personal trainer, I'm actually only allowed to talk to you about the Australian dietary guidelines as set by our government. Eatforhealth.com.au, I think it's a .com.au, Eat for Health. They're the guidelines that I'm allowed to talk to you about. And really, as a daughter of the 1980s, I want to talk to you about real nutrition. I don't want to be talking to you about low calorie this and low fat that. My philosophy around food is that we just need to take it back to basics. Food needs to look like it grew somewhere. Food needs to look like the food that it started out as. So remember, while I'm talking, you're finding your recipes as you go through. We need to keep things really simple. We need to go back to the eat mostly plants. We need to go back to just the lean proteins. And we need to make sure we are getting some good grainy, starchy carbohydrates, however it is that you want to go with that. I'm not even going to list them off because it's just basic. If you can stick to those basic guidelines, which do also include, your 2 serves of fruit every day. Where are there? 2 serves of fruit every day. It does also include your dairy or your dairy alternatives, 5 serves of vegetables. If you can be doing that, you are already kicking some really serious goals. And I think as a society, we really have butchered nutrition a little bit, and we've, dressed so many low carb, low fat kind of diets with so many different names and so many different methods that we've actually all lost track of what it is that we're doing. We all know what the basics of nutrition are. If we can stick to the basics of nutrition, we'll be doing really, really well. Guys, you know what food to feed your plants. You know what food to feed your garden. You know what food to feed yourself. Just checking, no questions, that's cool. Thanks for the likes and stuff though, guys. I'm really happy to have you on board. So as I've been talking through, you've been looking for recipes. Like I said, step 1 was all about the typical week. Step 2 was all about figuring out what typical meals you're going to have on those days. And step 3 has been all about finding those recipes. Now, I'm just mindful of the time because I do want to leave time at the end for any questions that you may have. So let's hold up on the recipe finding for now, and let's just go to the very first recipe that you found. So whatever day it is that you've planned to have that recipe on, that's cool. What I want you to do is really look at the ingredients list, and I'm just going to pull up one of my own shopping lists so that I can show you the example of what I'm about to talk about. Now you'll see in my shelf items particularly, sorry, I'll just move that around so you can actually see it. Where have we got it? Oh, there. All right, extra virgin olive oil. That appears on my list. If a recipe calls for it, I chuck that on my list. Red wine vinegar, again, Dijon, all of this kind of stuff. Honey, where's another one? Cooking spray, mixed, what's that? Oh, minced ginger, not mixed ginger. I literally put all of that on my shopping list. And the reason that all of that from each recipe goes on my shopping list is because I do not intend on writing another shopping list until the end of November. I will use these 4 shopping lists over and over and over again until the end of November. So I need to make sure that all of those items do get written down. And it's really simple. I've got really good at keeping track of what's in my cupboard. So I do know when I need to actually replace the olive oil. I do know when I need to replace the red wine vinegar. I know when I need to replace the minced garlic. I know when I need to replace all of that kind of stuff. But remember, this is all about being organized. This is all about organizing yourself and not sitting down to this task nightly or weekly. I wrote these, well, it would have been the end of August, and I put all that video online. And I won't do this again until the end of November. So that's what this is all about. So hopefully, as I've been talking, you've been writing down ingredient lists or into your shopping list for that first recipe. Now, that was part of the templates that was emailed out, and if you didn't receive that, it's really super simple. I just want you to jump on over to my website, www.teresapryorpersonaltraining.net. Jump on over to the contact tab and just shoot me through an email to get those. I'll email those through. If you're watching this on the replay, please just do that. I'd love to give these week 1 templates to you. So right now, guys, what you've done is you've thought about a typical week or your time available in your typical week. You've thought about what kind of meal types it is that you're going to have on those nights each week. You've thought about what meals you're having for week 1. Now, wherever you're up to in week 1, that's fine. If you've only got 1 recipe written down now, that's okay. But you've now got the tools to plan out a week 1 really well, and you should have some shopping listing items, that's the word. You should have some shopping list items written down. Now, the video series and the video course, Organise Your Menu Like a Boss, takes you through how to do the 3 months and what the 3 months looks like. It deep dives a little bit more into nutrition, as much as I'm allowed to talk to you about nutrition. And like I said, it's all just about the common sense. All the templates are there for you. It takes you through step by step, and it gives you all of my examples in a little bit more detail. Please remember the discount code for you to use, TPPT30, that gives you a 30% discount on that, does expire on Friday. And again, I've just done that little bit of waffling on to give you time to finish writing down those notes. I keep looking over to the side because I'm looking for any questions as they come through, because with 5 minutes to go, I'd just like to open up to any questions. Now, I appreciate you may be feeling a little shy, and yes, people will see your questions as they pop up, but you never know. Someone else watching might feel like they've got this question as well. So any question that you've got about how to organise your week 1 menu like a boss, please feel free to shoot it through. Otherwise, I'm going to stand here in my kitchen and put on the waiting music and just wait there for you with that one. I'll give it a second, because I know that sometimes there can be a little bit of a lag in questions. If you have just joined us and you haven't shot through a like on the page, please feel free to. I can see that there are more of you watching than interactions that I've received or reactions that I've received. So if you haven't liked or loved or laughed at me, I've definitely fluffed my way through this video a little bit. Please feel free to do that now. That'd be really handy for me, just so that I can see that things are still going really well. But thank you so much for joining me. I can see there aren't really any questions coming through, and that's okay. feel free to contact me via my website. Like I said, www.teresapryor. Oh, there we go. Thanks, guys. I just got some likes come through. So back to my website, www.teresapryorpersonaltraining.net. Jump on over to the contact tab over there and feel free to shoot me through an email if you have got any questions about what we've talked about, particularly if you're watching the replay on this one. I will be monitoring the comment section on this video so that if you do have questions about anything that I've spoken about for the last 25 or so minutes, I will be monitoring that and I will answer your questions. That discount code again is TPPT30, and like I said, it is going to expire on Friday. 4 videos and 2 downloadable workbooks will be yours, and it will take you through your 3-month planning for your organising your venue like a boss. And you can be like me, you can sit down and write shopping lists 4 times a year and have the rest of your time to yourself. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to check in here and to watch what I've had to say. And I think we'll leave it there. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining me.